Back to the channel, everyone. In this video, I'm going to be showing you this really interesting Python script that goes into all of your Confluence spaces and checks which of these Confluence spaces are actually ready to be archived. Because when you go here, your actually spaces don't really have enough data for optimization. Because even if I go to Confluence administration and things like that, I really didn't see something option to really optimize something. They didn't see actually anything. So you would probably need to go from space to actually see when it was last created, and that is a lot of work. Imagine if you actually have more than 100 Confluence spaces. We're not talking about the Jira spaces. I don't know how people are gonna cope with that. Personally, I was against this change, but I cannot be the only person who can actually influence the change from the Atlassian side. Nevertheless, let's jump into the code. So what the code is actually doing is, first of all, is fetching all of the possible spaces in there. So, and then it tells how many spaces were actually found. Then it goes for updating the page, and this is a CQL. So CQL is being used in here with the combination of the API endpoint to find the results that we actually need. And then we also have the main program in here, which is searching for the name, for the scanning of the space, which is giving the name and is also giving the key as well. So now in here, what could actually say for this no access or no pages? It is exactly what it means. So basically, it would mean that you don't currently have the access to the specific space. But if you're actually the Confluence administrator, this doesn't apply to you. And the another thing that would also happen is if some certain Confluence spaces are archived in here. And when everything is done, it shows the activity. What it does, it will create this kind of a table format. It's not a table format, but it's almost like that. So it gives you space name, space key, when it was last updated, what is the page title, the last page title, and the page URL as well. And then after all of that, it will save it in the CSV. So how it works, if I actually run this here, it will say that it found 11 spaces in here, which is actually going pretty quickly in here. And now what we actually see when it was last updated. And I can see of them. And I can see that some of them are actually from 2022, 2022, 2022. So these three right here, they're actually ready to be archived. If you actually see that documentation that wasn't being really used for a really long time, this is something that should be indeed archived. Of course, a good practice for this would be to actually check with the users, because maybe there was a reason that it wasn't updated, because they could say, well, that we all had to write and we didn't have anything else that was new for it, so then we just reference to it. But that means that they're actually referencing to the old documentation, which is not really the best practice right there. But every team works differently, so it should be good for you to actually check this. I will actually probably upload this to my GitHub repository so you can take a look at the code and actually do this for yourself. And yeah, that's all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. I will also leave the link to my new channel that is all about shorts, right? No 5-minute videos, just this one or something like that. It's all about shorts, getting straight to the point for all of those people who don't want to really go into something and actually watch it. But what I saw is that most of you are having, which is actually pretty good. What I actually saw by the average, it's lasting for 6 minutes or something. People don't want to go above 6 minutes of watching a video, which is totally fine and totally understandable. And yeah, that's all for today's video. Like I said, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Bye.